Hi everyone. Today we're going to look at sending email and text messages from the PLC. And if you look on my screen here, we have the Do More PLC, which will go through a router. The router is connected to the internet, and we're going through Gmail, and we're going to send email messages to the computer and a text message to the phone. So there's three different ways that Gmail allows you to send information, email information. The first one is SMTP relay service. Then we also have Gmail SMT server, and we have restricted Gmail SMTP server. Now, explanation of this is all on Gmail. However, I do have links in the website. So you'll look at the notes below this video and you will see the links to take you to the website. This will take you step by step through everything I'm talking about here, as well as the PLC program and sending information out. Now remember, the SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It's an internet standard for email transmissions. So the first thing we do, what we're going to do is we're going to send these messages out, and it's basically the same in the PLC, a text or an email. So it is actually just using these SMTP communications. The only difference is the authentication that you're going to be using, and we're not using any authentication. That makes it very common and easy for us to send out no matter what network we use. And Gmail provides that server in which we can use no authentication. So the first thing we'll do is take a look at the Do More PLC and the Designer software. And within it, what we have to look at first of all is the system configuration. And we're going to be using the simulator, so it automatically populates your IP address that we're using for the network. But if it isn't, then you just hit configure, you type in your address here. Once we have our address so that we have our PLC on the network, we then go to device configuration. And within device configuration, we need an email client, which is the SMTP client. So we have to, if we don't have one here, we'll have to configure one. But I'll take a look at the one that we currently have here, and we give it a name, and then we have the SMTP server IP address. Now the address, if we're not sure, we can look it up, and the one for the Gmail without the authentication is actually located here. So smpmx.l.google.com. If we look up, it will provide a email address. This is slightly different than the one I have, mainly because every time you look it up, it will provide a different IP address. So once we have that set up, then we have to look at the program. The program itself is we have a one-shot on our X0, which will send an email to the email account that we want, and X1 will send a one-shot to the Gmail text account that we want. And we're separating this by the subject letter of the email itself. So here we have who it's going to, which is the Gmail account. The subject, which is Gmail email, and that's where we're actually picking it up in the filters within Google to send it to the right location. Then we have the message itself. We're going to send X0, which is the bit that actually sends the message out, and the analog input word X0. So that's going to be a scaled value from 0000 to 4096. And then on success of sending the message, we set C0, and on error we set C1. So we can deal with that later on in the program if we wish. For the text message, again, the only thing different that we set here is we now say Gmail text in the subject. And then we set C2 and C3, 2 different bits, so we can distinguish this message from the previous one. So everything's good, we're ready to go. And what we'll do is actually call up the simulator. Here we go. Make sure that we're in run mode. And what you want to do is you want to look at these messages and text string in the simulator. So we'll fire the first message, which is going to be the one for the text message, or the email message, I should say. And let's put a value in there. We'll do 2327. So we'll hit that. You can see it ran through a series of messages. If we did have an error, it would actually come up. And we have Z0, which means it was successfully sent. Next, we'll just change this. Change to 1544, and we'll send that text message. So we'll send the next bit. Again, the message here tells us that the message sent okay. And the buzzing here tells you that there's a text message on my phone. So looking at Google and my Gmail account, I see I've just got 2 email messages in here. And the first one here was my send message, or my email message. And we have the bit that sent it was on, and analog value is 2327, just like we said. If we go back and we'll see the text message that we said, we have the same bit, or the different bit that was on. We know that message was sent, and the analog input was 1544. So it's very easy to send out messages this way. Now, in order to look at the actual filters that we use to actually then forward that mail to any account that we want, we'll look under settings and then go or the little gear, and then under settings. Once we're there, then we'll look at the top and you'll see filters. So I have 2 filters. One filter is for the email, and the other filter is for the text. So what we do is pick up who it's from and the subject matter, and then we forward it to another address. And on the second one with a text message, we say, again, we pick up on the match from who sent it and what the subject is, and then we forward it to text SMS account. And typically there's a list of SMS accounts that will send an email into the text message so you can send it to the individual. And if you visit our website at www.accautomation, I will show you the list of email accounts and where you can find additional ones for your network. So you can see it's very easy to take it from a Do More PLC, go through a router, and then using Gmail in order to send the mail message anywhere you'd like, whether it be a text to a computer. And we do use the restricted Gmail SMTP server because it requires no authentication, and there are a little few restrictions that you'll see, but in all, it works quite well. Thanks very much for listening, and if you have any questions and for further information, if you visit our website, the link is below.